Back on the nation at 5 with news coming in from Bengal, and it's disturbing development in the Mominpur area where clashes erupted and it led to vandalism, destruction of public property and of course plenty of arson and rioting which is seen on ground, and fisticuffs between two communities. Cops were also attacked by this mob. Tensions erupted after clashes over Lakshmi Puja on the occasion of Sharad Purnima. The BJP is raining fire on the Trinamool Congress government for the deteriorating law and order situation. BJP leader Sukanta Majumdar was detained on his way to Mominpur. Leader of the opposition, Suvendu Adhikari, has written to the Home Minister Amit Shah urging him to deploy central forces and carried out a protest march to Raj Bhavan. BJP leader Swapan Gupta has also written to the Prime Minister. The Trinamool, meanwhile, has hit back at the BJP saying demand for central forces is purely political and the Bengal police is capable of handling these incidents. Section 144 has been imposed in the entire area, and for the moment the situation is calm and peaceful. Abhishek Banerjee and Tushar Gupta joining us here on the Nation at 5 for more on this. Abhishek Banerjee, it's coming down to now who started it, and that there was provocation and there is reaction. So action led to reaction, and that's why we are seeing what's happening on the streets in Mominpur. But on the other hand, there are questions about a huge amount of communal divide.
Yeah. So Anand, what I will say is that basically this term minority that we use, it has become inoperable in many parts of Bengal. I mean, if you see regions like Ekbalpur or Khirirpur where this violence is happening, I mean, those areas, the demography has changed a long time ago. So what is happening there is not really different from what happens in places like Bangladesh. That is the first point. The second point is that there is a systematic failure of the state, and not just from today, from all levels, starting somewhere in 1977, where the official organs of the government, the police is simply not in charge of law and order in Bengal. It has not been in charge since 1977, since the communists came to power. What is happening is that all law enforcement is done by this system of party cadres, and not just law enforcement, from municipal violations to dispensing justice, giving out welfare schemes. Everything is managed through the party organization instead of civil servants or police or everything. So the party cadres, they do everything. And now because the party cadres, they do everything, now whenever there is some violence somewhere there, and we are seeing that the police is also getting attacked because the police has ceased to be part of the government. Everything is essentially being done through the party cadre system. And because the party cadres, they are indisciplined, that is why we are seeing these outbreaks of violence. And the third thing that we have is that because it is all up to party cadres who enforce, through strength, they enforce all the rules and regulations, there is a lot of arms and ammunition everywhere. I was just Googling. I can encourage everyone who is watching this show to just Google West Bengal crude bomb. You will see that just 17 September, it's only a few weeks ago, a bomb fell on a school in Titagarh. So there are now schools that are being bombed. So there are crude bombs everywhere. Every week there is some factory of crude bomb that blows up. So all these people, they have all these arms and weapons and ammunition. And so they are just miscreants. They're just looking for an opportunity. Something happens. These are indisciplined people. They start fighting. There is violence. And that is the real problem, because the state has completely abdicated all its responsibility and everything is done through these party cadres.
But why would any state want to do something like that, Tushar Gupta? Because law and order is a state subject, and law and order also is perhaps a denomination where you get voted back into power. Look at what happened in Uttar Pradesh. So why wouldn't a Mamata Banerjee want a situation where things are on the boil more often than not?
It's becoming second nature of the TMC to attack, or to rather endorse attacks on unarmed, innocent Hindus. This is not something that we've seen for the first time today. It's Mominpur today, but it has been the nature of Bengal now for a while. Look at what the NHRC report, the 50-page report that was on the post-poll violence in Bengal said. It said that the state apparatus was employed by the TMC to attack people who had been voting for the BJP, who were supporting for the BJP. A few families actually had to flee to Assam and other neighboring states. So the first aspect is that it's becoming second nature of the TMC to attack Hindus in Bengal. Now, why do they do it? That's the question you're asking. The very good question. Because how can a state afford to be like that? Now, the first aspect is the minority vote is taken care of. Label it on the infiltration from Bangladesh, which has largely gone unchecked in the last decade, or label it on the urban elite of Calcutta who do not understand what is going on in rural West Bengal. These two aspects have been taken care of by the TMC, apart from the Bengali pride, which refuses to see beyond the TMC and the realities on the ground. There is no other explanation for that, Anand. BJP is not a threat to Bengal with 70 odd seats in the assembly. So they have no reason to carry out this political violence as many like to describe. This is the second nature of the TMC of its cadre. You are seeing that police is being attacked. Where is it possible in any other state? Now, either the police is a part of the state apparatus which is attacking the Hindus on the orders of the TMC cadre, or instead it is being attacked by the TMC cadre. There is no third way. That is very, very threatening to me. So where is it all coming from? It has the endorsement from the top leadership of the TMC, and that is what is the problem here, that the TMC, as Abhishek also rightly pointed out, it's all being run by the cadre, and they are running a very anarchist-like government in the state. Now, that will kill the investments prospects, that will kill the economy in the long run. But most importantly, Anand, this is the worrying part. It will ensure that Hindus flee the state now or later. That is the one reality we all need to wake up to.
But the allegation or the counter that has also come is that this was all started because there was religious sentiment of the Muslims that was hurt by a group of volatile Hindus. That they got bashed up later on, but it all started from there. So is it just a one-way street of Hindu bashing? Or is it that there are those who are deliberately going ahead and stoking problems, especially in areas like Mominpur? Abhishek Banerjee.
Yeah. So, Anand, what I will say is, first of all, we do not know exactly who has started, but point is, at the end of the day, how many people might have started? Is it 5 people or on one side or 5 people on the other side? Why will such a small thing create such a large amount of violence? Why is this happening? Because everything is in the hand, because West Bengal has turned into what the communists call the party state, where, the officials are no longer in charge. It's the party cadres who are in charge, and they have no discipline. So they find some 5 people. We saw in places like Birbhum, where there was this, 10 TMC sympathizers sort of. They were murdered. They were killed in a very gruesome, in a very grisly way. So, there are these fights that are bound to break out. If you have 10 people in a room, 5 of them, they are going to fight with each other. But the point is, because the cadre, they have no discipline, but they have all the power. Anything that happens, the smallest disturbance anywhere, it immediately turns into a fire, and the state has completely abdicated its responsibility, runs everything through cadres. So that is why this violence is just out of control. Like I said, just Google West Bengal crude bomb. You will be stunned at just how many crude bomb explosions happen all the time, all over West Bengal. It's not even reported because it's so common, nobody even cares.
Well, if you want to not just crude bombs, you could also look at the split of Bengal, and you would see that it all started with incidences like this, where the demographic denomination or the demographic complexion itself had changed. Now on ground, if law and order is a state subject and you believe that somebody as popular as Mamata Banerjee has a firm grip on the state, then who is to blame for what is happening in Bengal at this point in time? We'll take this further later tonight on debate number 2 on the right stand. But for the moment, Tushar Gupta and Abhishek Banerjee, thank you for your inputs. We're going to take a very short break here on The Nation at 5. When we come back, it's India's Oscar nomination, the last film show, and its makers that we talk. Stay with us.